Okay, so this year for our Let's Get UEA Talking campaign, we have put up letterboxes around campus. And this idea I had actually a few years ago, and it was born from the fact that I really struggled to talk about my mental health when I was younger, and I did a lot of journaling. And a lot of my journaling, I wanted it to go somewhere, but it only went in that journal. I wanted someone to read it, to listen to me sometimes, and I just didn't have that. So that's where the letterboxes came from, and I do hope that they've helped some people during the time they've been up, and that you listen to the letters that we've got, and that might help someone too. Dear Dance Squad, I lost a friend of mine right before coming to uni. We were supposed to go to UEA together, and now I'm struggling to make new friends as I'm constantly reminded of what I have lost, and I find it hard to talk about it with new people as I do not want them to have a weird first impression of me. I don't know what to do, and my parents are so worried about how I'm doing at uni, and I don't know what else to tell them other than that I'm doing fine. I feel like I'm in a play of my own life with no script.
And how does that make you feel?
I can very much relate to not being able to kind of tell your parents how things are actually going, because they're so far away, and it feels like, oh, what can they do? A lot of people, I think, even if you're quite worried about first impressions coming to uni, but a lot of people are kind of thinking the same thing, even if they're not going through the same thing as you. They're also worried about that first impression. It's okay to feel that way. I want to be this person's friend.
I was diagnosed with depression 4 months ago and still have not been able to tell any of my friends. How do you tell the people around you that you're struggling when they've never been able to tell and think that you're okay? It's so hard to tell people who have this preconceived idea of you, so you could be the happy friend, that something is wrong. As a personal thing, you don't want to come across as a burden, and you want to be the one who makes the jokes and makes everyone else feel better. But I have definitely found that once you let down a little bit of that wall, suddenly all the bricks start to fall, and you can be open, and it really brings you closer, because then if they're struggling, they're able to also take that as kind of the catalyst for them opening up too. Yeah.
I just wish I could close myself in a room and pour it all out. I wish all my emotions were a physical thing I could just dispose of and then move on with my life. It is so heavy, and I'm scared to share that burden with someone who is not ready to carry it. It has happened before. My best friend in the whole world stopped talking to me the moment I told him even a sliver of what was going on in my head. I don't want that to happen again. I can't bear that happening again. I wish I could carve all of this pain out and flush it down the toilet, wash it off in the shower, and watch as it floats down the drain. I wish someone could just listen and not walk away afterwards. I wish someone would listen and stay. Gosh. This, I really wanted to read this because I can relate to it a whole lot, and sometimes people aren't ready to hear what you have to share, and because they might be going through something of their own, and they might not just be in the right mindset to be there for you, but that doesn't mean that nobody ever will. And I, for a long time, also thought that the person I thought was my person, couldn't be there for me when I needed them, nobody would ever be able to be there for me. But that's not true, because right now I have a bunch of good friends. I have a club which I really, really enjoy being a part of, and all of them are there to support me.
I'm a guy and I'm afraid to admit to my friends when I cry. I've heard others be called weak, and I don't want to hear the same thing. It just makes me want to talk to this person and just say that it is okay to do these things, like it's a normal kind of bodily reaction, it's a normal emotional reaction to these things, and like when I was younger I definitely felt the same pressure. Yeah, I think as just someone who has gotten over this, just know that it's a normal emotional release in a way, and you'll feel so much better for having it. So don't let being a man kind of stop you from feeling that same kind of emotional release as anyone else.
I've struggled with my mental health for a few years now, but I'm still not comfortable to share any of my issues with my friends. I'm a guy and I rarely talk about this to my mates. Although I go gym, they all do different sports, and while I'm not a part of any club and have never been very athletic, sometimes I feel quite left out when everyone else goes to sports night and sports events. It's making me feel very alone and like I'm not part of any of my friend groups. I wish it was easier to bring this up with my mates.
Just creating some activities outside of sporting.
I think it's hard to believe that not everyone here does a sport, but there are a lot of people who they might like sports but they're not part of a club or they're not really involved in the club. It's nice to have different sets of friends for different things, like if you're part of a club you have your sports friends, but then you've got your course mates. Yeah, try and make an effort to reach out and do things that they might not think to do because they always seem so busy with their sport.
I dread the end of uni. It feels like it will be the end of my life.
Well, we're both ending uni in 6 months. It feels like it's coming really quickly, but we've also both been on year abroads, and I'm international student, and I know from experience that while your life changes, it will be different, but the people who are close to you will still be close to you. It's not the end of your life, it's just the end of a chapter of your life.
Just to add on to that, kind of like with the same sentiment of like when you left secondary school or high school.
You're not defined by this one thing, you're not just a student, you're a person with hobbies, but when the time comes there will be other opportunities and there will be life there as well.
Yeah.
I find it hard and need to do better at telling people when I'm not doing okay. I actually relate to this because in the past I have felt pressured that I need to tell people as soon as possible that I am struggling, but what I've found is it's quite daunting to even speak to your best friend or someone you trust a lot to open up to them, because it is important to communicate, but it's okay to do it when you feel ready and able to, and it's important to do it at your own pace.
Yeah, I think in your own time, just knowing that just have that idea in your head that it is okay and kind of coming out, as Hannah said, when you're ready. I think start small as well, even if it's just one person that you're speaking to, even that one person will be able to sort of give so much maybe insight on like how you can reach help and seek help and stuff like that, maybe from drawing from their own experiences. So start small, that'll make you feel more comfortable in a way.
I just want to thank everyone who sent in a letter, because I know it's a very hard thing to do. The fact that you took this step is really big, and we really hope that this has been beneficial to someone and that you will reach out if you need it.
I'd really encourage you to reach out. What's helped me in the past, specifically UEA, is the support available, especially the Student Information Zone. There's also other teams within UEA, such as the Wellbeing team. If you feel like you need to, it is important to speak to your doctor and GP. Also, it is important to reach out to your friends. If you need help, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to the contact details through the support at UEA, that I've been able to sort of manage my mental health better, so I believe it can probably help you as well.